Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode. Exciting, it's not exciting. But another episode of on Channel Donstar of IMO Reviews. IMO Reviews today is taking a look at Shin Gojira, or Godzilla Resurgence, however you want to say it. Shin Gojira! Shin Gojira! I'm covering up my double neck. Which I got a double chin, double neck. Double your pleasure, double your fun. The Doublemint twins. Whatever happened to them? I'm going to have to look them up on Wiki. So yeah, we're watching the new Godzilla movie. Straight from Tokyo. Not the American Gareth Edwards movie, which I found pretty adequate. I really kind of liked that flick, although I thought Zilla's feet were a little too big. They were a little too elephant-like, whereas they should have been more feet-like, you know, ankle and then a foot that came out with claws. But in Gareth's movie, he was just like a stump with with nails. Very elephant-like I said. I didn't care for that. Everything else was fantastic. I thought the movie was all right. I thought Bryan Cranston was... Why am I talking about that? I'm talking about the new one. Bryan Cranston was wasted, I thought. He should have survived throughout the whole thing. Anyway, so we're watching Shin Gojira! The glasses off so people don't think I'm making fun of Asian people. Why would they think that? Because the glasses and the... I'm crossing the line there, folks. Anyway, so I had heard about this movie. It was one of those highly anticipated movies in my life because I love Godzilla right from the early eras. The 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the Heisei, the Showa, all those different eras. I found as good and bad as all of them are, I find all of them totally adequate. I love all of the movies. I love Godzilla. So of course I was highly anticipating this film. Godzilla Resurgence, which is what it's going to be called in America, I believe. I do believe. And I am only 20 minutes into it, 25 minutes into it, and I'm loving the thing. I had heard early reports, and I had seen some early stills of the film, and from what I understood from those reviewers, that there's not much Zilla in it, and that there's a lot of military talking back and forth. And I'll have to say, even in this first 20 minutes, it's given me everything that I've wanted so far. The military talk that is in there, which really does encompass most of it so far, because I'm only 20 minutes in, and I'll come back after I see the whole thing, is done very quick. I mean, there's a lot of quick cuts. The dialogue is quick. It's snappy. And it really does help you understand the situation of a city going through this type of turmoil could be. How the military would react. How the politicians would react. I found nothing wrong with that so far. Now, I also knew spoilers, I'll put spoilers in the title. I also understood that Zilla was going to metamorphosize into his recognizable being, thereas being like Mothra, basically being like Mothra, where you start out as this weird little slug, and then you slowly stand up and grow parts of your body, your arms, your tail, your fins. And then at the very end of the movie, which I have yet to see, you're the full Godzilla. but you also have different powers. I understand that the laser breath, the radioactive breath is different in this. His jaw kind of opens up from what I understand, and he also shoots things out of his fins, as opposed to just not the radioactive breath. He actually shoots radioactivity out of his fins on his back. So I'm very curious to see that. Like I said, I've seen stills and I've read little things online, but I've been basically trying to avoid it. So I have no idea what that's going to look like, that ending. But I did hear that a lot of people had a problem with the genesis, the origin, the metamorphosis. That's the word I'm looking for. The metamorphosis of Zilla changing throughout the film. And I had heard a lot of people talking about how hilarious his first appearance is as this slug-like dinosaur. And I tell you, man, that frickin' thing scared the hell out of me. I tell you, that first thing with those big white eyes, just like, looking around, it's like, what the fuck, if something like that really came onto your shore, how horrifying that thing would be. Just pushing along all the traffic, all the cars, anything in its way, it just blew it away and just kept crawling and crawling until it could get up. And so if I this is kind of like an opening, but if I would have to say, reading all those reviews of a lot of fans who did not like that type of metamorphosizing opening with that what Zilla looks like right at the beginning when he comes on shore, and if I love it as much as I'm doing, the ending's going to be fantastic. That's all I can say. So this is old Roger D on Channel Donstar with an IMO review of Shin Gojira, or Godzilla Resurgence. And I'm going to watch the rest of it, and then we'll come back later and I'll tell you what I thought of the entire film once I finished viewing it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you shortly. All right, bye-bye. What the? Alright. Let's close that down. Wow, weird. I got weird tears in my eyes. Hey, everybody. My new plane is my fat belly. I'm actually laying very low so I can hold my head back and enjoy the film. Hey, I did an intro and I just saw it. I just saw it all. Wow. There we go. I freaking loved it, man. Toho created him, And of course, Toho can only do the best with him. Um, where do I begin? Where do I begin? Where the frick do I begin? Okay. I freaking love Godzilla. I always loved him. He's been throughout my life, the big G man, the big Zilla, has been throughout my life ever since I was a little kid seeing the original 1959? Not sure of the date, maybe it'll be down there. Godzilla, and on Creature Features, which was a thing in our state of Illinois around 10:30 on a Saturday night, and they played the old Raymond Burr, the edited version of Godzilla, which we didn't know anything until later that was all edited. But I'll never forget from that first Godzilla movie, Gojira movie, the scene where they're all climbing up. They hear him, they see people running, and they climb up to the top of a mountain, and there is this giant dinosaur's head, which was like essentially a puppet, and it was going, you know. And then by the time they got up to the mountain, you heard the footsteps. You heard boom, 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 boom. By the time they got up there, they just saw the footprints of something giant making its way back to the sea. And throughout my entire life, I saw so many Godzilla movies. I love the early ones: Mothra, Mechagodzilla, Son of Godzilla, Sea Monster Ibira. I love all of those. Then it kind of went away, and it came back in '85 with a reboot. I don't know why I'm giving you a history of Godzilla movies. You all know it. And that was okay, and that went on. And then another, what was it? It was the Showa, the Heisei, the last one, the last group with Megagarus and Godzilla, Ghidorah, Mothra, All Out War, you know, that whole third section, which I really liked, mainly because the special effects were so much more better. The miniatures were so much more better. You saw battles on giant miniature settings with giant miniature buildings, and they were fighting, and you know, it's Zilla, you know. And then Toho announced that they were going to do the final Godzilla movie, which was Final Wars. And there's a lot of, I love the opening credits, which I believe it was Keith Emerson from Emerson, Lake and Palmer who did the opening theme. I may be wrong on that, but I think that's what it was. And I love the opening credits because it was basically a montage of the entire history of Godzilla. And I liked parts of it. I liked the Ibira part. I liked, you know, they even touched into the American Broderick Godzilla. I mean, that Zilla, which I call a beast, I don't call it Zilla. It was some other creature from under the sea. They even touched on that a little bit. But I didn't like the super soldiers. I didn't care for that whole super soldiers thing. Even though I accepted all the other G-Force characters in the earlier movies of that series. But I didn't care. There are favorite scenes in Final Wars that I like, but not the whole thing as a whole. It's kind of a failure, but there are scenes that I love. And then, you have the Broderick one, which is Ferris Bueller and the Monster. Ferris Bueller and the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms is what I call it. The remake. And then the U.S. Decided to do their own with Gareth Edwards, which was 2012, 2013 maybe? I'm not sure the year. And that was adequate. It was okay. It started up going up high, super high, especially with Bryan Cranston. And then they killed him off. Spoilers. And get the antennae. Get the antennae. Get the antennae. And then it just kind of was like, all right, where's Zilla? Let me see him fight the creatures. Let him see him. I don't care about the humans. Let me see the battle scenes. And it ended fantastic. I love how he just opens the mouth and shoots the flame, the radioactive flame down its throat. And that was all cool. And now we have, Kong Island coming out. And there's supposedly a Godzilla versus King Kong movie, which is supposed to come out 2020, maybe. Who knows? 2019. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know about that. I haven't seen Kong Island, so I can't really say. I don't know why they have to mix. I mean, just do another Zilla movie. The original rumors were that the next Zilla movie was going from America was going to be with Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra. And then all of a sudden they do Kong Island. They say, oh, Godzilla versus Kong. And so I don't know what they're going to do there. I really have no idea. All right. Wipe the slate clean. Wipe it all clean. Toho said, hey, we're not done yet. We're gonna reboot Godzilla again since '85. And hold on, let me get a drink. I need my drink because I'm getting a little dry in the gullet. So they released last year Shin Gojira, which was Godzilla Resurgence, I believe. In the American version, it's called Resurgence, which is it is. It's exactly like ID4, Regurgence. We won't get into that. And that's what... Why am I doing this? It's already like a half hour. So I watched it tonight, and as I spoke in the earlier section of this video that you're watching, there was a lot of flack. There was a lot of people, a lot of fans that didn't like the idea that Zilla, spoilers, get the antennae, metamorphosized from something into the Zilla monster. I have no problem with it. I mean, if you're going to rejuvenate the series, reinvent the series, and you have the rights, you are the creators of Zilla, Gojira, Toho, why not do it the way they did? And I have no problem with it whatsoever. I kind of disagree with a lot of the fans that did not like this. I had a blast. I had a fantastic blast watching this movie. As a die-hard Zilla fan who saw it from a little kid who has followed the character and the movies from 7-year-olds up to now 57 years old. I loved this freaking thing. This was amazing. The effects were great because they had CGI. They did do a little bit of stop motion. They did do a little bit of man in suit. So that was all great. It was another retelling of the origin of the Zilla, and there were no other monsters in it. It was just him metamorphosizing and coming to Tokyo and destroying every fucking thing, man. Scenes of destruction were beautiful. I have no problem with the jaw opening up and being super big, and the nuclear breath being as it is in this. I have no problems with the rays coming out of his dorsal fins. I have no problem, which I didn't know until I was watching this ending, that he shoots stuff out of his tail. I have no problem with that. It was just so kick-ass. It was a freaking amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, and I think I said in the earlier part, there are lots. It's very human heavy. It's very... But you know, if you think back and if you rewatch those early Zilla films, Zilla's not in it very much. It's a lot of human talk, a lot of scientists, a lot of this and that. So I didn't mind it, and they did it great. Whoever directed this, which I can't tell, maybe I'll put it down there, made those scenes quick and snappy and visually entertaining with the wide angle lens so they could all fit in and go, ooh, you know. But okay, let me wrap this up. Let me wrap it up. I love this freaking movie. Shin Gojira is great. I will get it on Blu eventually. I love the use of the original music. The Akira Ikfubi, I believe his name is. The themes they use throughout this movie, even the end credits, has the dun 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 fuck. I mean, they use that, and they use all the other little themes from the original Godzilla films in this movie. It was almost like, you know, there's a lot of talk about the fan aspect of the Star Wars films that Disney are producing now, Force Awakens, Rogue One, about how they're all fan service. You know, with the Zilla movies, I have no problem whatsoever with them because they're still good movies. They're still so entertaining. They stayed with that Zilla linear storytelling and action, and it even Zilla has his original growl, his yeah, which I can't do, but they even made that authentic. It was the way to do it. It was the perfect way to do it. And it was so great to see the big G again on the big screen, just causing havoc. And my God, does he destroy every frickin' thing. It's amazing. It's because that's what you want in a Zilla movie. You want to see him just destroy cities. And then there's this final ending shot where there are some characters talking, blah, 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 and then everything just goes super quiet, and you see Zilla, and the camera follows up his tail to the end of his tail, and I will not tell you what you see, but what you see really makes you scratch your head and makes you wonder, not so much wonder, but just like, maybe wonder. It's like, oh. It's just like, wait a minute, wait a minute. And then the credits. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Oh, and that's what really kind of got me at the end, was hearing that original theme again, and why now I'm just recapping everything. So yeah, Shin Gojira, or Godzilla Resurgence, which sucks as a name. I like Shin Gojira. Keep it the original language. Is an A+ in my book. I freaking loved it. I loved a little slug rolling his body across the ground through the cars and traffic. With these big white eyes. I love the whole metamorphosis of Zilla. And then the ending is, I love the destruction, which is a freaking amazing. And then that final shot, like I said, it's like, wait a minute. And then your mind goes, whiz, it starts spinning of what could it all mean? What could it all be? So yeah, it's a definite recommendation from IMO Reviews. Definitely see it if you're a Zilla fan. If you're not a Zilla fan, you might be very bored by all the exposition and talking in the middle, and you might not care for the CGI, the man in suit, the stop motion, whatever. But if you're a true Zilla fan, I don't know why you would not like this movie. So yeah, that's, I think, all I can say right now. Yeah, I think I'm done. So anyway, it's all Roger D on Channel Donstar doing another IMO Reviews, a much anticipated IMO Reviews, because I haven't posted in quite a while. The holidays were here, and the Depression was here, so I didn't feel like doing anything, and I felt like, okay, I got a copy of this, let me watch it, and let me review it, and I was so freaking happy with it. It was amazing. I was disappointed because I heard such bad things about it, and I was worrying. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna like it. It's gonna be like Ferris Bueller and the dinosaur. And no, it was everything I wanted. everything I wanted. And I hope Toho continues. I hope they continue on, even though America is going to continue on with their version of Zilla. And yeah, that's it. That's it. So it's all Roger D on Channel Donstar. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, liking, whatever. And check out my game channel, Donstar Gameplay, or I'm playing goofy games and stuff like that. And basically, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.